Hi, I'm Rick Rutter with News on the Feed. Telecom operators are seeing their traffic skyrocket across their metro networks, and a recent estimate from STL Partners shows a threefold increase by 2030. That's huge. After a recent energy crisis and growing environmental concerns, telcos are looking to implement more sustainable practices to face these challenges. With me is Irene Zhang, Director at Juniper Networks, to highlight the top sustainable trends. Irene, STL Partners recently asked telcos in North America and Europe how they're driving sustainability. So, what are the common practices that most operators are pursuing?
Yeah, so from the research, we noticed that most operators right now are at the stage of common practices. Essentially, they are chasing the low-hanging fruit, which include, for example, decommissioning the legacy technologies that are more energy hungry. For example, transitioning from copper networks to fiber optics, and also decommissioning the legacy 2G, 3G networks, and then refarming the spectrum. And in addition to that, operators are also looking at their facilities, looking at what are the things that are unnecessarily straining their HVAC systems. For example, is there some vents that are blocked? Is there doors that are open when they're not supposed to? So they're really tracking those energy usage and trying to optimize them.
Those are some great first steps. And so what comes after that?
What comes after that is what STL Partners identify as best practices. And it is about applying cloud principles to metro networks. And that is what we call cloud metro. And the first principle is about resource sharing. In the context of metro, that is about converging all the different metro services onto one single converged platform, which reduce resource duplication and also reduce the carbon emissions associated with those resource duplication. The second principle is about automation. Imagine that you can use automation to reduce human error, and imagine that you can use automation to do remote troubleshooting so that directly you can reduce the number of truck rolls that you need to send the staff to go on site and fix those problems, right? And then by reducing the truck roll, you directly reducing the amount of energy and carbon emission associated with that.
That makes a lot of sense, right? Is there anything else telecom operators should be considering?
Absolutely. So the next practices, these are not as common right now, but we do see them as promising in the future. So for example, one is decentralized routing fabric, which is the idea that you terminate the traffic at the edge so that you reduce the overall traffic that's traversing the entire network, and thus reducing the total amount of traffic carbon emission associated with those traffic. And then the second is re-architecting the current architecture, transitioning to the spine leaf scale-out architecture, which improve resiliency. And that when you improve the resiliency, that also will have relationship related to reduce the truck rolls for troubleshooting. And last but not least, it is about evaluating and enhancing their current vendor evaluation criteria with the TCO model. So today, the TCO model typically only associated with cost. And the recommendation is to incorporate sustainability metrics in the evaluation so that they can actually reward the vendors that provide sustainable product design.
Irene, you just gave us a lot to think about. Thank you so much for sharing your insights on the top initiatives leading to a more sustainable metro network. And to learn more about these 9 initiatives, check out the link below to access the full research. And while you're on the feed, take some time to soak up a little bit more industry news and knowledge. Thank you very much.